This is your solution? This is your solution to the annual disaster known as the NBA All-Star Game? What the hell's going on with this league? If I didn't know any better, I would think this is intentional. The intentional destruction of the NBA. You know, back in the 90s, there was a war going on in the business of professional wrestling. They called it the Monday Night Wars because WCW and the WWF, they would be competing head-to-head every Monday night. For a couple of years, the war was competitive, but around 98, maybe 99, WCW hired a guy named Vince Russo. Now, at the time, some people credited Vince Russo for turning the WWF around. He was credited for making the WWF edgier, helping to create reality-based characters like The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Although Vince Russo was a talented writer, he was extremely creative, he needed someone to polish his ideas. See, what WCW didn't know when they hired Vince Russo, the reason he was so effective, he had Vince McMahon there to take his raw ideas, polish them up, and make them presentable and entertaining to a mainstream audience. When he got to WCW, Vince Russo no longer had that luxury. He no longer had the filter of Vince McMahon to run his ideas through. The end result was a horrifically bad product that played a major role in the demise of World Championship Wrestling. Things got so bad with WCW, there were conspiracy theories that Vince McMahon and the WWF intentionally sent Vince Russo down to WCW just to destroy the product. They sent him to WCW as a double agent to destroy their competition. Even though I know that is not the case, sometimes I wonder if Adam Silver is intentionally destroying the NBA. Because there is no way, there is absolutely no way that a smart dude like Adam Silver can continue to come up with ideas that are this bad. One of the reasons that Adam Silver continues to get away with destroying the NBA, mainstream media, they refuse to hold him accountable. The media refuses to say what I'm about to say. Hell, I have been saying this for years now. For some reason, the media has this illogical fear of Adam Silver. Doesn't make sense to me because the players damn sure aren't afraid of him. Anytime I see Adam Silver discussed in the media, they're always stroking the cucumber. Adam is amazing! Adam is a nice boy! He's great! Adam Silver is, without a doubt, the worst commissioner in sports. I think he is personally responsible for the destruction of the NBA. David Stern would be mortified if he saw the current NBA product. David Stern literally handed Adam Silver the golden goose. And in the span of 10 years, and especially in the last 4 or 5 years, Adam Silver has turned the golden goose into the polished turd. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel in the description below. Later today on the second channel, we're going to be talking about another disappointing product, the NFL. Also, today is the last day to send in your nominations for the Huge Embarrassing Failure Awards next month. My team's going to be counting nominations this week to determine who will be battling it out for the prestigious crown of the biggest huge embarrassing failure in 2024. If you have someone you want to nominate, shoot me an email, btlkc84@gmail.com. Last week, the NBA announced changes to the All-Star Game. Initially, when I saw this report from Shams Charania, I was hoping that Adam Silver borrowed some of Don's lemons and finally worked up the courage to cancel this annual embarrassment. All-Star Weekend is a complete waste of time. It's meaningless. Dunk contest is irrelevant thanks to LeBron James. The beginning of the end of the dunk contest, it was 15 years ago when LeBron refused to participate. After that, damn near every star in the NBA followed his lead. The All-Star Game itself, The game itself is a travesty. It is an insult to the fans. It's an insult to the networks. Just get rid of the entire weekend and continue with the usual regular season schedule. But Casey, that's not fair. The players look forward to the All-Star break. They need that time off to rest and recover. Time off? Time off. More time off. By the time the All-Star game takes place in February, some of these NBA players, they have already taken the entire regular season off. The last thing NBA players need is more time off. This season, instead of the usual uncompetitive All-Star game where teams allow each other to score 200 points, Adam Silver has come up with the brilliant idea to turn the All-Star game into a pickup game. You see, the thinking is, since players are competitive in pickup games during the summer, they'll automatically be competitive in the All-Star game. When I saw this announcement a week or so ago, I was at a complete loss for words. One of the reasons that I didn't talk about it here on the channel when the news broke, there wasn't much for me to say. This idea is so pathetically bad, it didn't deserve a response. It doesn't deserve to be criticized. But, we shouldn't be surprised. We should not be surprised that Adam Silver doesn't have a solution to the problem. The worst commissioner in sports, he has yet to solve a single problem in the NBA. He's created a lot of problems, but he's yet to solve one. Adam Silver reminds me of Cackle and Cam Harris. They are both excellent problem creators. They're just not problem solvers. Think about it. Think about all the problems in the NBA that Alice has failed to resolve. Load management, failure. The product on the court continues to get worse every year. Failure. All-Star game, failure. Draymond Green, failure. Well, KC, how is Draymond Green a problem? Really? You're really asking me why Draymond Green is a problem? Draymond Green is a disgrace. This is one of the reasons that I sometimes refer to Adam Silver as Alice, because he has allowed Draymond Green to completely emasculate him on multiple occasions. There have been several instances where Draymond Green should have been suspended for the season. If you have been watching me for a while, you know exactly what I would have done with Draymond Green if I were the commissioner of the NBA. If it were up to me, he would be kicked out of the league. One of the reasons that Draymond Green continues to assault other NBA players, there are no consequences. Instead of being suspended, Alice sends Dre to sensitivity training. Come on, Dre, come along with Alice. We'll go to sensitivity training together and you can be just like me. All of this combined leads to the biggest problem in the NBA, another problem that Adam Silver has failed to resolve: declining ratings. These unresolved problems, they create a negative perception of the league. One of the reasons that I have been following the Mavericks this season, besides the fact that my wife is a big Mavs fan, Dallas plays real basketball. They have dominant bigs, they dominate the paint, they post up. They're not just out there shooting threes. The Mavs, they're a fun team to watch. One of the reasons that they're fun to watch, they're different. They're different than just about every other team in the league. That's one of the problems right now in the NBA. Every team is the same. Watching the Celtics, it's the same as watching the Warriors. Watching the Cavs, same as watching the Knicks. The reason the Rainbow Warriors were so special 10 years ago, they were different. Problem is, the rest of the league tried to copy their formula, and they don't have the shooters to do it effectively, which creates the stale, bland product that we see in the NBA today. Last week, ratings went from bad to worse. Tuesday night, Suns-Lakers on TNT, 1.4 million viewers, down 30%. Bucks-Heat, barely over a million viewers, down 23%. Now keep in mind, TNT is the only network where the NBA has been decently performing all season. Ratings this season on TNT have been flat, no growth, but at least it wasn't the double-digit declines that we have been seeing on ESPN. And speaking of ESPN, their doubleheader last Friday night drew 1.4 million viewers. The NBA was handily beaten by college basketball. Duke, Kansas drew over 2 million viewers. Can anyone name a single player on either one of those teams? I know people are hyping Cooper Flagg, but he's not a star, at least not yet. But even without mainstream star power, people are still watching college basketball. They're just not watching NBA basketball. There is no reason that college sports at any level should be outdrawing the pros. Doesn't happen in football, doesn't happen in baseball, doesn't happen in hockey. The only sport where college is more popular than the pros, basketball. Now, it's understandable that women's college basketball would outdraw the WNBA dump, but it is inexcusable for college basketball that doesn't have a single star continues to outdraw the NBA. Ratings are so low right now in the NBA, some of their games, they are competing with the NWSL. KC, what the hell is the NWSL? The NWSL is the women's soccer league that Megan Rapinoe almost destroyed. Meg retired last year, and what happened immediately after she retired? The NWSL set record high ratings for their championship game. Last Saturday on CBS, the NWSL championship game drew 968,000 viewers. That number is higher than some NBA games on ESPN this season. There's just no other way to describe it. The NBA is an absolute disaster. And the thing is, no one seems to care. No one seems to be calling out the biggest problem in this league, the commissioner. The only thing that Adam Silver has done right is find a way to swindle the networks out of $77 billion. He must be one hell of a negotiator, because there is no way that this dump is worth $77 billion. In most cases, I am supportive of making as much money as possible, but in the NBA, I think it might be a bad thing. I think we could be reaching a point in the league where the players are making too much money while not playing enough games. Players in the NBA have far too much power. I think the only reason that the NBA is still playing 82 games is because the television networks will not allow them to reduce the schedule. Doubt it's Adam Silver pushing back against the players who want a reduced schedule. Anything the players want, Alice immediately gives them. He's all but eliminated back-to-back games. He's made the schedule easier for road games. He is constantly catering to the demands of the players. It's the same thing in the WNBA. WNBA players, they get whatever they want because they don't have anyone in a leadership position that is willing to say no. Give me your thoughts on this. NBA ratings continue their double-digit declines. NBA ratings have gotten so low, they are being dominated by college basketball. They are competing with the NWSL and Formula One racing. This league is in danger, and no one seems to care. No one seems to be worried. Is Adam Silver the worst commissioner in sports? Why does he continue to get a pass from the mainstream media? You tell me. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later today on the second channel.